Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Got a domination match on Riposte in the Tier 6 British premium battleship, the Nelson. Well, cat's out of the bag. The new line and early access next update, allegedly based on a video I saw today from Wargaming, is going to be British alternate battleships. And so this is the only unaired footage I have in a British battleship. We are in the Nelson, and we are using the premium Commander Azur Lane Nelson. I am not a proponent of Azur Lane ships or commanders or pay commanders or anything like that, but I think you will see that the Azur Lane commander makes a pretty compelling case for using her. And so if you want to win and you have a little extra money and you love the Royal Navy, might be a good idea to invest next time the commanders are for sale. That being said, I also bought, if I can remember all their names, A.L. Dunkirk. I bought A.L. Scharnhorst, A.L. Ukikazi, and I think there may be one other one I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, I finally bought some Azur Lane commanders, and we're moving out here in the Nelson. Nelson doesn't really need any introduction. It's got zombie heals. It's got some beautiful HE spam. It has some short fuse armor piercing that you should not sleep on, especially if you're an enemy ship. And there we are shooting at the Benson, just flinging shells out there trying to hit, as you can see, a little too fast, and so all those shells are going to miss. And then the Benson goes dark. And here's how you know your destroyer player doesn't know what they're doing: when your destroyer Nefushan launches deep water torpedoes at the Benson. That's when you say to yourself, all right, we probably don't have a chance to win this game because our destroyer player doesn't know what he's doing, and he ate a torpedo. So good times. And those deep water torpedoes cannot damage the Benson at all. So why that player would launch them, I really have no idea. And that's why I'm left to conclude he has no idea what he's doing. All right. Man, what else can I talk about? Well, I just saw, at long last, Top Gun Maverick. It was not perfect. I'm sorry. If your experimental aircraft is traveling Mach 10.4, I don't know, 20 or 30,000 feet in the air, and it disintegrates into a constellation, then you are probably not alive after that. Just my 2 cents, but other than that, I thought it was pretty funny when they rolled out in that F-14. Old school throwback. All I got to say is, what they wait so long for? They could have made that sequel 15, 20 years ago. All right, we set enemy ship on fire there. That is what the Nelson is really good at doing. They damage Kant and then faded out from sight. I got some bigger, better, more important targets like the Colorado to deal with. Although, if I can get clear of the island, we might go back to the well and try to hit the Fuso one more time. Not giving us a great angle. Helena's behind a rock. Colorado also behind a rock, but maybe a little bit more hittable. We're going to aim and fire at the Colorado with our armor piercing. I was hoping, I guess, to finish off the Fuso with some armor piercing. There we did about, I don't know, 6,000 damage. Not great. Also not terrible. Helena turning away. We'll launch some up into the stratosphere, see if we can get him to drive under those by accident. It does happen. And then he's going to straighten back out, so we'll shoot some more. Maybe those a little bit too high. I guess we'll find out. Oh, got some more hits. Don't sleep on the AP, folks. We're already over 30,000 damage. So So, soft skin cruiser, giving you anything near a broadside. Short fuse AP all day long. Battleship giving you broadside, especially at closer ranges. Short fuse AP all day long. Short fuse into the superstructure of an up-tier battleship. That might be the ticket, folks. And Azer Lane Nelson has a skill called Big 7, which is really good. Hey, speaking of really good, we finished off the Helena for the first kill for our team with a hit to Citadel, now just short of 48,000 damage. Moving in on the Colorado. It's going to go behind the island there. We will crank out some more short fuse armor piercing. Deeply odd to me that I haven't been set on fire yet, but that's just life in Azer Lane Nelson. Life in Nelson. By the way, Nelson, I know nobody's going to agree with this. I think this is one of the best looking ships in the game. I love the way it looks. Gneisenau, not going to be able to get shots. You know, enemy team's doing a pretty good job of staying in cover here behind these islands. So we'll take our targets where we can get them. Devonshire coming out from behind the island. There's some more of that short fuse armor piercing, while I'm keeping myself protected in some respects. Pretty good hit there. I think if he had been backed out a little bit more, that would have been a kill shot. Unfortunately for us, it was not. Moving our aim a little bit forward. Gneisenau coming out from behind the island. Also a Benson over there. We're going to aim at the front parts. Is that the front? Maybe it's the rear and he's backing up of Gneisenau. Shells spread out a little too much for my liking, and as a result we only got 2 pens, but we were about 75,000 damage right now. Just don't have any better targets. So we're going to keep fixed on Gneisenau. I'm going to start to move forward a little bit, making sure I clear this island. Gneisenau is still backing up, a maneuver I don't necessarily recommend. We'll shoot to where he was last seen at, and then start to turn this bow in. That salvo really didn't do anything at all, much to my chagrin. Looking up at the scoreboard, we're up by a significant number of points, almost 300. The kills were tied 2-2, although we've lost a destroyer and they have not. Alright, bulk of the enemy team appears to be over here. What do? We're just going to go straight at them. Repulse, aiming up towards the superstructure with high explosive. And we set the repulse on fire. Trying to get this third turret lined up on Devonshire. And we do, and we'll fling that HE out there. And we set we don't set the Devonshire on fire, but we do disable, albeit briefly, his torpedo launcher. Alright, next 2 turrets at the Devonshire again. And we set the Devonshire on fire again, and that fire should be able to burn. Oh, I guess it won't. Huh. What do I know? Alright, repulse finally got set on fire here. We're going to use our damage con. Set the repulse on fire. I want to say this is right after the repulse came out. Everybody was in the repulse. Have I done a repulse review? I think I have. You know, the Repulse's sister ship is going to be out in this update. So if you don't have the Repulse, I think the Tier 5 is the Renown. I believe that is the ship class that Repulse is from. Here going bow on, destroyer up on target. We take out the Repulse. Got the Devonshire over here as well. And because the Devonshire is low health, despite my posturing towards the destroyer, I intend to shoot at Devonshire because I want to finish him off. By maneuvering somehow, I managed to dodge most of the torpedoes. We will take one, I think. We're on fire a couple times now. Salvo out of the Repulse, finish him off, the Devonshire, pardon me. High caliber metal, kill number 3. Over 100,000 damage here. Gneisenau, we're not at a good angle at all to either of these ships. Turrets on target. We're shooting. Armor piercing again. Bad angle. But we're just doing what we have to do. And I would really love it, as we get the Confederate medal, if our teammate in the destroyer would just spot the enemy destroyer so I know where it is. But that is apparently too challenging. He would rather hide in a smoke screen. You know. Little help here. I need some intelligence data. That's all I need you to do, Akatsuki. Move out of your smoke screen, spot the enemy destroyer. Literally all I need you to do. Alright, so we got to bow towards the enemy battleships. We are spotted by the enemy destroyer. I would love some intelligence data. There is the Benson. We will shoot into the mist, and we won't do any meaningful damage. Turning, trying to get the third turret on target. Would love for some spotting to go on. Clearly, that is too much to ask of my teammates. Alright, we do get a turret disabled. Benson is back up. Secondaries are on. We hit our secondary thing. Well, my teammate is shooting at the Benson at least. We dodged some torpedoes. Turret slowly turning around. And right as we shoot, he gets taken out. So we're going to ram the guys out in anger and take him out for our fourth kill. And our team is well on its way to victory. So I will probably skip ahead to the end of the match. All right, here we are on my favorite screen, the victory screen. High caliber medal, Confederate medal, 125,586 total damage. 4 big kills. Nelson plus Azer Lane Nelson, pretty solid combo. Almost 750,000 silver, over 6,700 ship XP, over 14,000 commander XP in the Nelson. And there we are at the top of the board, just short of a good game, 2458 base XP, 4 big kills, leading the way for our team in the victory. All right, here's a look at Azer Lane Nelson. Base trait, like a rock, reduces incoming damage to the battleship. We got Paolo Di Ravel and Lev Gawler as our inspirations. Gawler for extra HE damage. I know that may be an outlier, but that's who I choose for my build, especially in this ship, which specializes in shooting HE. At some point, I think I'm going to go look at the other skills here. Flammable Cannoneer in row number 1, no surprise there. You don't want to sacrifice your range by choosing the number 2 skill, Brawler maybe. Big 7, here's the unique skill. AP HE shell damage boost, and you lose a little armor pen. That's okay, you've got short fuse AP anyway, so I don't think you really suffer from that. Marksmanship in row 3, and Master Mechanic in row 4. Don't have will to rebuild, forgot to use Fight Fire with Fire. We chose Farsight, torpedo detectability range, but I think in the future I would choose Fight Fire with Fire. Anyway, that's Nelson plus Nelson. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. You can always subscribe for more slightly above average ship reviews. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for watching.